who determined exactly which diseases we were going to treat or which debilitating medical conditions we were going to treat? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Fox.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It was a bill that originated in the Judiciary Committee. There was review of other states and reviewing the laws that they have passed and what illnesses have found to be effective. It was through public hearings, not only this year but past years. I can say that the list of illnesses was intended to be somewhat conservative. There are states that do call for much more. I know that there's been talk of California, and it's my understanding that their law includes such things as anxiety. I think certain types of maybe strain or pain to your back, things like that. It's certainly not the intention here for us to include illnesses such as those. So it was intended to be to go along the more serious illnesses.
Representative Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, through you, Mr. Speaker, I guess I can ask, to the best of your knowledge, was there any independent verification by a medical professional in Connecticut to look at some of these diseases and see if there were peer-reviewed articles that actually substantiated, including those in Connecticut's legislation? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Fox.
I don't know specifically off the top of my head. I'm certain that some of these would have, perhaps most of these would have that type of analysis. I'm not sure that they're either from Connecticut or if they're from other states. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Carter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And through you, Mr. Speaker, I know we've debated in this session about the prescription drug monitoring program. Through you, Mr. Speaker, is it possible that this will, marijuana will be now added to the prescription drug monitoring program? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Fox.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, the prescription drug monitoring program is not one that's come through the Judiciary Committee. However, I would just, based upon the what I do know about it, I don't believe it would.
Representative Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, this actually creates a very interesting dilemma. I've had the opportunity to speak with a lot of people across the state who manage pain medicine. And one of their biggest concerns as we move through this process of looking at legalizing medical marijuana is the fact that they try very hard to keep their patients off of marijuana. And the main tool that they rely on is the prescription drug monitoring program, which I believe during this session we voted on in this chamber to extend that program and give greater latitude to the state to put more people, or I should say more products in that program. I think the problem I have here with medical marijuana is the fact that everything I've seen so far, it's not even a prescription. So it's going to be fulfilled at a dispensary, not even a pharmacy. So there's really no way for anybody who's doing legitimate pain medicine to know they have a patient who is a prescription, or excuse me, a recommendation for medical marijuana. And that creates a very unique situation because these patients are followed up and drug tested to make sure that they're not seeking medicines elsewhere. Through you, Mr. Speaker, another question to the proponent of the amendment.
Please proceed.
I noticed in this, through you, Mr. Speaker, that there were going to be dispensaries created, but it looks like the licensing fees are going to be just enough to cover the costs. Is that the way I understand this? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Fox.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I will ask that question or answer that question, but I would also just like to respond to the previous question because I've had a chance to confer with the chair of public health, and that may fall the prescription drug or the prescription certification program that was referenced earlier may actually fall under this. So it may be something that would fall under this. So I just want to correct my earlier response. With respect to the cost that's involved, it is the intention that this program would be cost neutral. It would not cost the state. Through you.
Representative Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And when I read that, it kind of prompted another question in my mind. You know, obviously in the state right now, we regulate those who are tobacco manufacturers. In fact, we charge them a greater fee to be in existence. Through you, Mr. Speaker, to the proponent of the amendment, at any time did we look at classifying these dispensaries as tobacco manufacturers? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Fox.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I did not. I don't know if anyone else did.